Okay, beautiful. So, my name is Christina Aman, and I dove into my very first ultimate lifestyle transformation about 6 years ago, right alongside the same time as Erica. And my history before that was that I had a lifetime of digestive issues, a lifetime of eczema. I had two small children at the time, so had gone through the whole pregnancy, birthing, nursing journey, and was pretty depleted. Although I didn't know what that concept meant, I just thought, oh, I must be aging now. This must be like it's all downhill from here. I was 40 years old at the time, and just thought, okay, now aches and pains and low energy and brain fog and mild daily depression and all of those things are just like life. I just kind of, because nothing was acute for me. I didn't have any acute symptoms. I just thought, this is it. This is the best we can hope for. And I had been watching some friends who were just radiantly shining and getting healthier and healthier. And I was looking around at other groups of friends with all the different diets and lifestyle choices and not seeing the same results. So it got me very interested in trying this out. And I did a couple of ultimate lifestyle transformations pretty closely back to back, right around this same time of year. And I was really blown away with how good I felt, really in a way that I'd never felt in my whole life. So deeply, deeply nourished at the cellular level, huge amounts of energy, lots of muscle building and toning. I lost a little bit of that baby weight that, I didn't necessarily even think about going into it to lose, but just got really toned up and fit, cleared up my lifetime of eczema, continually have been working on that digestion. I had huge results and it just keeps improving. And now 6 years into it, I can say I have a really awesome digestive system that just serves me well. And it's linked, and our gut health is linked to so much of the rest of our life, our emotions, our mental clarity, skin, teeth, everything. So I can truly say, after doing these ultimate lifestyle transformations pretty much seasonally for 6 years, I just feel really, really healthy. I feel very confident in my health. I feel robust. I feel a very strong immune system. I stopped getting like all of the seasonal colds and flus that I had been getting before that. And I've also come to realize, since I am in my 40s and seeing a lot of friends all over the place really struggle with everything from mild to extremely life-threatening, significant health issues, how precious our health is. And I give great thanks for making the choice to include the ultimate lifestyle transformation as part of my lifestyle. And I don't go a day without these products. And so we want to break down to you how that might look. Some of you might be doing this for the first time, and some of you may have dabbled at certain points with the ultimate lifestyle transformation, maybe kind of did it partly, maybe did it fully, and are kind of like taking another look at what's available to us here. So we're going to be breaking down and giving you some guidance on what are the best ways to get started, what are the support layers that are available to you to plug into, and some of our, basic tips and tricks for making it the most successful experience you can have. But what I want to really encourage first and foremost is to get really clear on what you would love to experience from this journey, and keep your eyes on the prize throughout the whole experience, as far as holding that vision of what you're creating with this. So I love to ask people, if you woke up tomorrow in absolutely perfect health, what would be different than it is today? So you can get a really clear idea of what your health goals are. Maybe it's the quality of your sleep. Maybe it's the energy level. Maybe it's aches and pains. Maybe it's if you're participating particularly in one of our collagen packs combined with the gut health. Maybe it's, the hair, skin, and nails, and your outer appearance based on the support of your body's ability to build collagen. Maybe it's your athleticism, your ability to perform, and agility and endurance and stamina and all of that, your ability to play. Maybe it's, fertility, or on and on and on. There's so many ways that we can look and say, what refinements would I love? If I could just wave a magic wand, what would be gone, or what would be now in its place if I could have that? And I will say, after watching thousands and thousands of people go through these transformations, literally anything is possible. It is a impeccably, brilliantly formulated program that has given relief to pretty much any symptom you've heard of. I have heard testimonials around, and people really achieving health goals, especially in places where they weren't finding results with other methods, whether it was all the different Western medical suggestions, or even alternative suggestions, or even other superfoods, or a lot of people couldn't even get a diagnosis to what they were experiencing, and then found their solution with Purium. So I'm really excited for everyone here who has taken that pledge to yourself, who's made that commitment. And whether you're making the commitment for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or 6 years, like myself, I pretty much live on a version of the ULT month to month. We're here to help you really stick with it and achieve those goals. And it's gentle, and it's gradual, and it's doable, and fun, and you don't have to be hungry. That was my number one box that had to be checked off. I don't want to be hungry. I don't want to be weak. So you get to be deeply nourished. And I'm going to pass it over to Erica to share her story, and then we're going to dive into specifics of how to make this the most successful for you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So my name is Erica Kloster, if you don't know me, and I am a friend of Christina's for many years now, who also got turned on 6 years ago to doing this type of ultimate lifestyle transformation. And when I came in, I was in my postpartum period after having 5 babies in 10 years. And I was just deeply in a nutritional drought and needing solutions, especially energy on the day-to-day and regeneration of so much minerals and core nutrition and reserves internally that I had lost, bringing so many children into the world. So that's what brought me here 6 years ago. And we have side by side been witnessing each other and ourselves and our whole communities thrive as a result of making these decisions to choose to nourish ourselves in this deeper way. And I definitely will echo what Christina was saying about how profound of a shift I started to notice, even having been someone that grew organic food in the backyard and always made or healthy meals at home every day. And everything I did was cultivated in connection with nutrient density and being close in relationship to the land. But what I did learn is that it made a huge difference for me to have ease and convenience to be able to nourish myself as a mother in like under a minute. And that fueled me to do all the other things I had to do in a day. So I've always maintained a really active lifestyle. And Purium has been like my side-by-side saving grace this entire time. So here we are at the beginning of a new year. And I just want to shift the orientation in this moment to share about how this is such a beautiful time and place that we find ourselves in, where we really do get to set intentions. And as Christina was saying, think about our personal health goals and maybe why we're here and what's important to us. And I just want to invite everyone, especially having coming out of like this full moon we just shared and the solstice and the brand new year we're beginning, to really be intentional with yourself and look at everything that's being illuminated and brought to this opportunity to cultivate in the time ahead. So that's something that I feel like is a really great place to begin your ultimate lifestyle transformation, is to identify, as she was saying, what is it that we want to feel. So I'm excited to welcome everyone in here today. I know for me, one of the biggest shifts is feeling that clarity of like mind, body, and spirit, starting to feel not just better in our physical bodies, but the way it elevates our emotional state of being, our mental clarity. I know we start to sleep better. We start to like have a little extra spring in our step. And it starts to be this activation to like further our bigger dreams and mission and gifts in the world. So that part is one of my most favorite aspects of being here. And I will just close it out in this moment by saying 6 years into taking this nutrition and also living on a variation of the ultimate lifestyle transformation ongoing, meaning, 1 to 3 times a day, I'm supplementing these beautiful superfoods in my body. I've had dramatic effects that have nourished me to completely just regenerate my hair, my skin, my nails, my energy, as we talked about, but also just that vitality for life. I've seen it ripple out into my children, who also have really been able to restore their bodies and get out of that state of nutrient depletion. So what we have here is definitely like a concentrated formula that can really give like accelerated results. And I think that's where we can maybe start to begin looking at day one.
Yep, exactly. Let's dive in. So welcome to day one. If you have your box in hand and you want to open it up and start checking out the products and the paperwork in there, there is a schedule. And I typically tell people, if you are new to cleansing or you haven't done it in a really long time, or you feel like you may have a particularly high toxic load, the simple schedule will be a great place for you to start. And you're just going to be bringing in a couple of shakes a day. You're going to be bringing in those aminos a couple times a day. You'll be doing your apothecary at night and your biomedic in the morning and the evening. And that will be pretty much your day. What a day typically looks like for most people is waking up in the morning and having water, maybe with lemon or lime, and your aminos first thing. Typically, if you have a high metabolism or a high activity level and you want to include some fruit in that right away in the morning, or some juice, maybe even one of our signature juices, if you have those additional add-ons to your ULT, we have a whole, juice bar in a bag, or the fruit and veggie pack. Like, we have these juices that you can add in. But anything along those lines of nutrient dense, light, alkalizing, hydrating is a great way to start the morning. And then when you really get that first hunger, which is typically a couple of hours later, a shake. And when you have your shake, you're going to include your biomedic. And then when you are ready for you're either going to have 1 or 2 more kind of meals. So depending again on your goals, you're going to either have, for myself, I tend to eat fruit for every time that I'm ready to eat food. I'll just have a large fruit meal and then have like a mid-afternoon to early evening dinner. That's typically how I do things. And on the ULT, you get to decide. And some people will make their bigger meal lunch instead of dinner. So that's kind of a choice you can make. Or maybe you never have a bigger meal and you just do fruits and superfoods. That's also a choice you get to make. This is all going to be depending on what your goals are. That fruit and superfoods would be the most accelerated detox plan. And then if you want more grounding, slower detox, more gradual, you can bring in your steamed veggies, your lightly sauteed veggies, your soups, your avocado, cucumber, celery, things like that, to more have it be a little bit more gradual. And again, that can be lunch or dinner. You will have those couple of, on this simple schedule, you'll have those couple of shakes a day. And so then you would take your second biomedic in the evening, probably with your apothecary, which is your bedtime elixir. So that's the simple schedule. The accelerated schedule is slightly different. And this is the one that I've actually coached most people through. And this is where you will actually start with one shake a day and aminos once a day. Everything else I described is about the same, although during that first 10 days where you're easing in, you might be slowly, gradually coming off of some of the products. Wow. Sorry, I just saw someone left that I never allowed in, which means people are able to join on their own, which is awesome. That wasn't a thing before. Great. So let's see, where was I?
The accelerated schedule, and then taking a break, pausing.
So easing in. Well, what I was saying is some people are going to look at that 30 days and you're going to have your list of what I call aggravants, things that aren't necessarily supporting your health journey, but you might be doing right now, such as alcohol, sugar, wheat, maybe other grains, depending on where you're at. Coffee, yep, meat, dairy, processed foods, certain oils, pretty much anything except maybe like coconut oil. And then even during the beginning and the end, you might include some olive oil or avocado oil, but all the other oils, you can do the research, are suggested to be part of inflammatory responses or other distress to the gut. So you're going to have your list of things that you might be excluding during, and you get to decide, are you going to exclude them for 30 days, 90 days, or maybe just this 10 days of the accelerated detox, and you're going to be weaning yourself off of those for that first 10 days. So again, you decide, are you going to be eliminating them for the full 30, or do you take that first 10 to kind of ease off of those as you prepare? If you're doing the accelerated, the middle 10-day portion is where you're going to include your super cleanser. This is the parasite herbal formulation. It also addresses candida and fungi, not beneficial fungi, things that are in the gut that you really don't want to be there. And during that 10 days on the accelerated program, you're going to be really flushing out with 3 shakes a day. Or you can choose for it to be a meal, you choose. Lots of these hydrating flex foods, the low sugar fruits, high water content, in other words, not bananas, right? Those are higher starch and higher sugar. And also with the vegetables, same thing, higher water content, higher fiber, lower starch content. But again, this program is modifiable. So if for you eating yams or bananas is better than eating, processed foods or heavy meat and egg and cheese diet, then that's going to serve you to do that with these superfoods. You are still going to see tremendous results from that. So again, I tell people we're not here to restrict or deplete ourselves. And if there is something that your body is going to be nourished by that is still going to support your cleansing journey, just reach out to the person who's sharing this with you if you have questions as well. But I'm personally more in favor of giving to your body and giving to yourself than being uber disciplined to, follow some kind of protocol on a piece of paper. That's me. Probably because I've already done that other version and it had its harmful side effects. So I love that this program is so deeply nurturing. On the simple schedule, which is the first one I mentioned, you would then add your parasite herbs, the super cleanser, in the final 10 days after you've done 20 days of 2 shakes a day and aminos twice a day, and cut out a bunch of those aggravants. I will say that although on the simple schedule, it isn't designed to have 3 shakes a day and aminos 3 times a day, and all of those hydrating, high fiber flex foods, I would encourage you to follow that same protocol as much as possible anyway. Like, what I mean is lots of hydration, because you're having die off from the parasite herbs and you want to flush that out. You don't want that to get stuck back in the colon. So cucumbers, melons, berries, teas, soups, juices, all those things that are going to really help with the peristalsis and flushing and hydrating and moving and having nutrients that go right into the bloodstream and give you energy too. Because I like to call this the householder's cleanse. You know, I did a lot of cleansing and fasting in the past where I had to be really laid out. Like, I was so weak and nutrient deprived that I just had to rest. And this is a program that is really meant for the householder. You can still go to work. You can still show up as a parent. You can still work out if you want to. If you want to rest, by all means, you will get great benefit from resting. But you don't have to. If that's not available to you, you can keep living your regular life. And so there are, broths and teas and juices are going to give you, in addition to the superfoods, are going to give you a lot of that, those highly available nutrients to give you that energy while they're still helping you flush and cleanse and detox. So that would be the safest and healthiest way to take those super cleanser herbs. And let's see, I'm gonna pause, hand it over to Erica if you want to add any of your favorite tips and tricks and recipes and ways to get started. And then we're going to open it up for questions.
Sure. Yeah, I would love to share what's relative to right now. That was a great breakdown, Christina. As you can see, one of the benefits of what we have to offer here is lots of flexibility. So you get to eat with your intuition, listen to your body, really answer what it is that your body is craving. Not necessarily in the beginning, maybe when we're shifting out of sugar cravings, but when we start to feel those cravings for deep nourishment that could be green or hydrating and alkalizing, as Christina said. And right now we're here in the winter time. So I wanted to bring that in. You could focus in this season, if you're living in a place that's very cold right now. I wanted to just highlight a few options that I would recommend as support and alternatives to perhaps not having cold or room temperature juices, smoothies, shakes throughout the day if you're needing to warm up your body a little bit more. So for example, in the morning when you're going to do your first dose of the super aminos, instead of having water or lemon water, you could have warm water with a little lemon in it, or like even like a little ginger tea that you boil in a pot and put a squeeze of lemon in it. Lemon ginger honey tea is also very good to help nourish the body. But in any place where you feel you need more warmth, I would just recommend, feel free to bring heated water instead of room temperature or cold water into your body. Also, hydrating throughout the days with teas that just build that internal digestive fire is great. So spices, you can lean into ginger and turmeric, cinnamon, clove, cardamom, all those kind of spices, like chai kind of spices, anything with curries or chili peppers that can really warm your body are great. So if you are going to be incorporating some vegetables, maybe a salad really calls to you, but if you're, again, looking for something to warm you up, you can lean into like roasted root vegetables or sauteed or stir-fried vegetables that you could cook down with the curry sauce. If your body's really craving more fat, one of the nourishing suggestions I would bring in is some coconut milk, and you can stew your vegetables in coconut milk. And again, instead of having like abundance of starchy vegetables such as potato or sweet potato, you could bring in some more of the cruciferous vegetables like cabbage and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, kale, Swiss chard, spinach, those types of dark leafy greens. Some other really great cleansing ones are beet and carrot. So I love to offer up those suggestions. Soups are an amazing way to get deep nourishment that also aids in digestibility. And if you're so fortunate to have a blender in your home, I really recommend even blended soups and purees, even if that's like a fruit puree, like a blended apple, or you can do blended vegetables if you're doing like a pumpkin soup or a carrot or broccoli or beet, those types of different recipes. So actually in a minute, I'm going to tell you about where you can find some more recipe support and ideas and suggestions and the type of support groups we have for you. But I did just want to highlight that you do have options. So this particular transformation is not designed to make you feel hungry or deprived, or like what is in front of you is not actually meeting the needs of your body. So again, bringing in warming foods if you're in winter is a great idea to make this feel satisfying and sustainable. I also would say at night, one of my favorite rituals is to have a cup of hot tea before bed with my apothecary. And I even enjoy like a spiced tea. Ginger and turmeric is one of my favorites to support that pre-bedtime ritual, and just again bring in a little more warming temperature to what we're ingesting. And another thing that's really great if you're not wanting to do juices is make broth, right? Whether it's a veggie broth, or if you have a need for more calories, if you're in a healing phase or a weight building phase, or maybe you're a mother or an athlete, if you have intense physical labor throughout your day, I would even say that a preparation of bone broth could be appropriate for you. If you're not consuming animal foods, a vegetable broth would be great. But one of my favorite ways to suggest making broth is throughout your transformation, as you're preparing vegetables in the kitchen, when you have trimmings of like onions and celery and garlic and whatever different types of vegetable trimmings you're preparing all throughout the week, sometimes I will just save those in like another bag or a container in my fridge. And when I've got a sizable amount, I'll cook them down for a couple hours up to a half a day, depending what's in there. Some things want to cook longer, but broths are a great way to bring in extra nutrients and more warming into your body when you need it. And I think it's a great seasonal addition. So I love to advise that. And as well, if you are doing your shakes, I know some people have even, instead of having a cold shake, done something similar to like making a latte, for example. If you have your super meal, you just not really boiling water, but you can warm your water and put it in a cup and add your shake powder and stir that in there. You can even like top with a little cinnamon and have something kind of like a chai latte with your shake powder. I've seen people do beetroot lattes with our Can't Beat This superfood that enhances energy. It comes with our performance products. So also if you're weaning off caffeine, the Can't Beat This is a great coffee alternative. And there are some other really beautiful coffee alternative teas out there. There's like some dandelion root blends and chicory and barley root roasted. Dandy blend is one of my favorites, or Ticino. There's a whole variety. Often you can find these at your natural food store. You can place orders online, but bringing in some of those really medicinal roots can also be nourishing with minerals and liver cleansing. And it can sort of replace that habit or ritual, which you might love to have like your warming cup of tea or coffee every day, but you can bring in one that is going to support and complement your cleansing experience instead of potentially trigger more inflammation. So the whole idea here is to nourish your body more than you ever have, bring in different forms of nutrition around the clock all throughout the day, and especially in between having shakes and aminos, or bringing in flex foods or flex meals, which you'll probably learn more about in your lifestyle guide. I definitely recommend drinking as many glasses of water a day as you feel you can consume, and maybe even expand that over the next period that you're in your ultimate lifestyle transformation, because the more water and hydration, as Christina was saying, the more that's going to help to flush the toxins out of your body. So that's some of what I wanted to bring in for seasonal modifications. And I could share a little bit about our support containers.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
So we have actually a variety of ways we're going to be staying connected as a community and offering a place for you to tap into our support resources throughout the next 30 days and beyond. one of the first and foremost ways that you're going to be staying notified and up to date is we have created a Telegram thread for our Whole Being Renewal community transformation group. So the person who brought you here is going to be able to add you into that Telegram thread if you have not already. If you're unfamiliar with Telegram, it is a free app for communications. And so you can download that on your phone or your computer. And inside there, it's going to be a place where you're going to stay up to date on opportunities to join live calls. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. And also just kind of receive tips and guidance throughout this entire experience. You're going to be supported by a whole community of people who have been through this before and are leaders in our Purium family and community. So amongst that team of co-facilitators, I believe there's a dozen of us. We have put together a beautiful collective of offerings. There's going to be all kinds of different free classes, many of which will be live, some of which will be pre-recorded videos, like for example, on YouTube. And you're going to be invited to all of those. You'll also be able to not only attend live if you can, often on Zoom, but you'll be able to access recordings to those even after the live call time. So you'll find things like movement classes, yoga, and different types of, I think, Tai Chi, meditations, sound healing, sound bath therapeutic experiences, which are quite nice. There's also going to be some different coaching things and practices to support total well-being in a number of different ways. So inside our Telegram thread, you can see more about those offerings. We're also going to be posting a schedule of events in there that will help people see and mark their calendars ahead of time. So you'll know if there's some of those that you're particularly interested in, when and how to connect. And throughout that Telegram thread, we are going to be notifying you regularly. So when we're coming closer to some of those opportunities, you're going to get the up-to-date news and announcements inside that thread. If you have a question or you have something that you would like to share, that's also a place where you can ask questions in there. And I would say for deeper conversation, we also have a couple other containers that we can invite you into for more extensive sharing. And of course, we love to encourage people to share about how your experience is going. It's definitely really interactive and inspiring when we all bring more into this experience as a community, and it makes it really fun, and it makes it bring an element of togetherness that I think enriches everyone's journey. Sometimes we can, after a while, be like, gosh, I'm kind of tired of eating just like cucumbers and avocado. I need something new here. And you'll see, friend next door is making like this exquisite broth or tea or something, inspiring. So that's great when we all share what we're nourishing on and maybe changes that we're noticing in our body, what we're feeling, practices we're doing on the daily. And that can really help to just enliven and enrich this experience for everyone. So 2 of the options that we have support containers are also inside 2 other apps. So the first one I'll tell you about, everyone is welcome to join. It's a community inside Mighty Networks. So if you're new to Mighty Networks, that's also a free app you can download. And the person, again, who brought you here today can help you get connected inside of there. We have a superfood transformation community, and there's a whole collection of beautiful resources in there with, again, that being a home base for some of those recorded offerings. Even after the live calls, you'll be able to find Zoom recordings and YouTubes and things in there that you can access. There's also things like detox support, recipes, and it's a place that kind of mimics a Facebook group, and you'll be able to have a news feed. So to connect with other people who are currently or who have passed on the transformation, you can make a post, you can post a picture, a video, you can comment, you can share. So that's a place for deeper sharing. And inside the Mighty Networks group, there's also a video that can orient to you how to use the group. So it is a place where you can get familiar, even if you're brand new, and learn how to use it. It's actually pretty user friendly, and there's a whole lot of content in there. So I definitely encourage and invite you to check it out. Once you do get inside there, and maybe we'll do a refresher. Maybe I'll do a little like short mini video how to orient to Mighty Networks, and I'll put it in our Telegram thread. because I noticed that the app recently updated. So a few things changed since I was last in there. But typically there's a categories section. And if you go into like the home base inside our community group and you look at the categories, there's a place for like a welcome and orientation video, and you'll find those specific offerings noted, just like I was saying, like detox support, movement classes, meditation classes, and such, all easy to find what you're looking for specifically. So that's our Mighty Networks group, open to everyone in this experience. Some of us will also be part of a group that is functioning inside a Facebook community. So we have another beautiful leader in our team of co-facilitators. Her name is Rachel Balansa, and she has created a Facebook group that for over time now, she's been supporting people within that transformation community. And so inside there will be another place that you can share about your journey and access recordings. And if you have been curious about which group is best for you, definitely get back with the person who brought you here, and they'll be able to add you into those places where there's going to be further connection for you and opportunities to share and learn from each other. So those are the three ways we have to stay connected: two kind of home-based support groups and a thread for communication to keep you up to date on the day-to-day. If you have any questions, the best place to bring them is to the person who's guiding you through your journey individually, as well as our Telegram group thread. And that's about it for our support system. I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, I'll add a couple of things there. So you might be hearing all that saying, whoa, that's a lot. Maybe you're not super into, all the texts and the apps, and you're wondering, what's the simplest way? Just join the Telegram thread. You'll get everything that we do during this journey, this whole being renewal, will be added in the Telegram thread, and certain things will be pinned so you can find them easily. But if you just want one place to find everything, that's going to be your place. There's also every Saturday a live support call where you can come and bring questions, concerns, stories, updates, celebrations. And that schedule and that Zoom link and all that will be posted in the Telegram thread and the other places as well. So I would say the Facebook group and the Mighty Networks app is really if you want to go deeper and you want a bigger support container.
I'll add that Saturday at 9:30 Pacific is a health support call weekly. So if you're needing like some more intensive, like I have a question or I think something's wrong, that's the place to come bring your questions.
Or you just want to learn more. You want to come and hear what other people have to say and ask. It's a great resource.
And if you want to share something really amazing that you're experiencing, please come on and share with us.
Exactly. The other thing I wanted to point out is, what if you get to that place where you want to quit, right? You are experiencing an extreme craving, or you're just like too flustered with the schedule or keeping up, or forgot your products or whatever, right? So I just want to address that, because that's can easily happen, that we kind of peter out or just have a cold stop. And I would love to give you support to have the breakthrough where that doesn't have to happen for you. And I've hit those places too, where I'm just like, oh, sometimes I just want a banana and I'm on like the deeper cleanse. So there's a couple of things that we can do. I have, in my times of deepest cravings or hunger or wanting more, just had another shake. It may not be exactly in the perfect amount allotted for the 30 days. However, you can definitely choose to place another order and catch up. And so I remember when Erica joined, she said, how many of these shakes can I have a day? I just want to drink them all day long. And when that happened, I just said, I don't think there's any harm in having as many as your body is asking for. I've literally had up to 5 shakes a day, because that was better for me than giving up or giving into some craving. So I encourage that. Just give yourself more of the good stuff. Same thing with flex foods. Just have more flex foods. Have more than the amount allotted. I think it's like, a cup of broccoli or half a cup of broccoli. I personally ignore those measurements and just say, what does my body need right now? I love, by the way, making broccoli like a bowl of seasoned rice. Like you can steam a whole head of broccoli and then cut it up really, really tiny. So it's like this big fluffy bowl, and then put like coconut oil and salt and pepper and herbs and ginger and garlic.
Avocado is a really great one.
Yeah, if you're really like, I need more, like go for the denser flex foods or extra shakes. That would be my recommendation. And the third thing is to really sit with the feeling. Like if you're like, okay, I've already consumed what I need to consume, and my body is just still craving a hamburger or whatever, that's a time to go inward and just sit with that. That is part of a detox experience, is to release. That's, maybe your parasites talking, or your, like poisons inside your body that are being removed, having their last gripping grasp of what no longer is serving, and what they realize they're on their way out, and it can be dramatic. So you can just sit with that and find ways to give yourself comfort and fulfillment without giving into the craving. So it could be listening to really good music, or doing art, or journaling, or meditating, or going to sleep, or taking a walk in nature, or just drinking in all of this nourishment that is given to us in the world, that doesn't necessarily have to be that thing that our craving is asking us for.
Beautiful. I love that you shared that. And my personal way to like move through some of those edges of discomfort is moving my body. Like I love those suggestions, and taking a walk is a light exercise that will really serve you to like move physical energy, and also move the release of like old stagnant physical energy in your body. So light exercise is highly recommended during this time. And if you are someone who is like already avid with your exercise routine, you can continue on that. I wouldn't say start introducing like a whole new extreme exercise program during this time. So you're going to want to honor that opportunity to do more rest as your body calls for rest, but movement is great. And anything you can do to support a sweat can be very detoxifying. Maybe you have access to a sauna, and you can do some of that even for more warming and more releasing of toxins. It's also just really energetically cleansing. Anything you can do to bring in sweat or breath work or really help to transform and create energetic shifts. So those are my top recommendations for how to move energy. And one of the things I want to say too is, in your box, you probably got what's called the lifestyle guide. Whether or not you're someone who customarily reads directions, I encourage looking through this guide. It has a lot of great information to really help guide suggestions of what to eat, to reaffirm schedule options. There's so much resource in there to support you on your journey. So I definitely recommend checking out that.
Beautiful. Yeah, definitely echo the breath work and the breathing on that last tip. Let's see if anybody here has a question that you want to ask and bring to the table. So feel free to come off of mute and ask questions, if anyone has any at all. Well, this is just the beginning. There's going to be lots more support. If you want, you can always send questions to the person who shared this with you. You can post them in the thread. You can come to Saturday morning Q&As, and you always have the person, who shared this with you to give you that direct one-on-one support, especially if you feel concern at some point. But generally, this is very safe, gradual, and detox. I'm so glad this was helpful, Bianca. And the name of the Telegram channel is pretty much Whole Being Renewal, which is the name of this transformation. And the last thing I'll close out with and say is, who do you know that would love to be experiencing this too? Somebody else out there has the same exact goals as you. If you've achieved results, somebody else out there would love to be achieving what you've already achieved. So really start to think of who you know that would love to know about this. And we welcome people to join us throughout this journey. So you can share tools, different recordings. You can bring them as a guest to calls to learn more. and see if this is something that they're ready to do with you now. And how fun to have that accountability and to have that friendship. And most of us are more likely to do something if we know we're being watched and supported by friends. So really consider, as part of your support system, bringing people along for the journey. And if you don't already know, this is also a way that you can earn income. So you can get anything from a full-on commission and even certain bonuses from the company for sharing this with people, or you can get a referral from the friend who shared this with you. If you don't want to participate in a business, you can just kind of get some referral kickbacks. And if none of that isn't interesting, just send them to the friend who shared with you, and they'll support your friends in the exact same way that you're being supported. So I just wanted to leave us with that. Sharing is caring. And there's just so much magic that can happen when we really reclaim our health and our lives to be on the course of life that we want it to be, and what we want to be creating in this lifetime. So congratulations for taking that first step, and thanks for being here today with us. We will post this recording, and happy first day of our Whole Being Renewal.
Beautiful. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you so much.